Okay, the sun is out. Man City have had 3 points today. Arsenal have had 3 points today. And one of our teams is in the Champions League semi-final. Let's go. Arsenal are through to the semi-final against Lyon. Man City are out and potentially going to be out the FA Cup to United. But let's talk about today's games. Arsenal 4, Palace 0, Man City 2, Brighton 1. Which game do you want to start with?
Now I know why you wouldn't tell me what the intro was before we started.
Where should we start?
Don't know.
I think
City seems as though you're going to slander me
okay,
further
yeah,
on.
cool. Let's start with the charity work. So, City struggled. City struggled. No, don't look at me like that. City struggled today.
Well, whatever I say, I'm never going to win here. So fine, whatever. I mean, yeah, it was a bit of a struggle, but I could say that as a City fan, just because you're smug over here. Arsenal in Champions League. Arsenal won 4-0 again today. Yeah, you were playing Crystal Palace. Do you want a medal? No. Shut up.
I'd like the trophy at the end of the season.
Well, you're not going to get it, are you? Because Chelsea are like 8 points clear, so on your bike. But no, as City said, it was today's fixtures were brought to you by the Netherlands. Kirsty scored the first goal. Not sure why she was in the box.
Yeah,
very confused as to why she was in the box. Maybe she thought she was defending.
It's not just that she was in the box, Kirsty. She was the only player in the box.
Yeah, Viv wasn't. And then the second goal came from Viv. So I mean, here's where the Chelsea fans are going to come at me, and this is where I'm going to bring it up again later on when we talk about Thursday. But I'm sorry, right? Our bench ended up being Davies, Carolyn, Viv, Oyama, Joe Rod, and Katie started for a goalkeeper. Because Alexandria was to start, got injured in the warm-up. So Laura Weinrather had to start, which is fine. Like, clearly, whatever Nick did today, I nearly said Gareth, whichever Nick did today, you're making that noise, right? But he worked with what he had.
Only because Brighton couldn't put the ball in the back of the net. If Brighton put them chances away, they beat you easy.
Do you know what though? Captain Coombsy, I'm here for.
She played all right.
I feel like I've stepped back a year, but Captain Coombsy, I'm here for it.
Yeah, she played all right. There's just a couple of things going on with City. Obviously the injuries, but like some of the players are just not performing at the minute. Like Jill Roord is really struggling. Jess Park is struggling at the minute.
New manager, new way of playing.
Even like Lily Murphy is like, she's struggling.
Yeah, but would you not struggle if you've just come off the back of 4 games against Chelsea and you've only won one of them? Your last game played during the week knocked you out of the Champions League. I wouldn't be playing to 100%. I'm sorry, but I wouldn't, and I don't think enough people are taking that into consideration. Like, we were live for the game over on our TikTok, and there were Chelsea fans coming in going, "Are you still crying?" Well, yeah, I am. I am still crying because people aren't taking into consideration the dire straight situation we're in at the minute. Both injuries, we've got a new manager who was changed the week of that first Chelsea game. Like, what do people want?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I'm not going to keep blaming injuries because there's only so many times you can blame it, but it is genuinely the case. It's not us saying, "Oh, well, this deems us as being, this is an excuse." We have got such a horrific injury situation at the minute, and yeah, there's Chelsea fans that keep coming in and going, "Yeah, well, we've got loads of injuries too." Yeah, but you've got a squad depth that's 3 times the size of ours, and a couple of your injuries, you're still winning without them.
Yeah.
Like, we have not got the numbers. And yeah, it does come down to the fact that we probably haven't bought very well in the past window. But nobody was expecting Alex Greenwood, Bunny Shaw, Lauren Hemp. Who else have we got injured? Fajino, Blinky, Yama, Rebecca Knack. Knack to get injured. We did not expect that many injuries in the transfer window. So I'm sorry, but
then also when it comes to an injury crisis, you need big players to step up and for the majority, City just don't really have it. Like Viv does. Viv steps up every single game. Kasparai steps up every single game. But like someone like Jill Roord, you'd expect to really, like she did soon after that ACL. She came back, she scored, and then she had a really good form where she was like assist goal, assist goal, assist goal. And then now I just feel like she's just gone really quiet, and most of the time she's the one giving the ball away as well. And like she's a great player, don't get me wrong. I'm not like slating her or anything, but it's just like something's going wrong there, and I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a positional problem. I don't know if it's a tactical problem, but something's not right. Something's not right in that midfield where it's Yui, Jill, and Viv. Like it just doesn't work. It's weird.
On the other side to that, though, you've got Gracie Pryor and Lily Murphy, who have both been thrown majorly in at the deep end, and if I'm honest, they've both held their own.
Yeah, I think
Gracie
last couple
Pryor has
games Lily
been
struggled.
absolutely exceptional in that defence.
Yeah, she's stood out.
Exceptional.
She stood out massively.
Like,
She doesn't look out of place ever. And like
no.
I think the difference is that like yeah, Lily's playing more of a kind of forward position, which is more difficult. But like sometimes she's looked like miles ahead of people, and then like last couple games, I get it, it's Chelsea, you're playing the same opponent, but like she's just not really been able to get on as much as she did. Like she
Would
had a
you
couple
if
of
you were running up
she had
against Millie Bright?
she had a couple. She wouldn't. She's a winger. She had a couple of
No, but
glimpses today. Like she had some glimpses today where she was like doing well, but like when she played against Lucy, she just like you're gonna struggle.
that's
But
what I
like
mean, though. When you've got a defence at Chelsea like that, what did people want her to do?
yeah, but like you've got to be able to adapt your game. And like I get she's young, but like she has got the ability. She's got the technical ability. She's class. But yeah, just like she's not really. I don't know. I don't know if it's a tactical thing. It might just be that. But
Maybe.
yeah, I just think City are struggling. I don't know what it is. I'm actually getting really frustrated watching City at the minute because like
Tell me about it.
there's just nothing really going on. There's really nothing going on. I've been praising them on how direct they're being, and then the past two games, I'm just like, I don't see it now.
I think we've just lost our confidence. We've lost that spark, and I mean anybody would if you've lost the cup to Chelsea, you're out of the Champions League to Chelsea, and now you don't know what's ahead in terms of the FA Cup. And I'm hoping that this international window, because there's not so much, well, we have got quite a few players out on international duty, but I'm hoping that it can be used as a time to stop and reset.
Yeah.
And we come back for that FA Cup match, kind of 100 miles an hour, and we managed to beat United. But as Leah Galton's apparently come out and said in an interview today, we're gonna go and smash Man City.
Yeah, it'll be a big
It's
game.
gonna be a tough one.
It'll be a big game. I think as well, Brighton looked really good at times. Like there was a spell of like 20, 25 minutes where they were just like really dominating City. Like the only problem I had with Brighton was that they just kept doing the same thing. They just kept playing through the middle, going wide, and then trying to cross it in. But there was no one in the box, or there was no one close enough to the box. Like normally
Yeah,
when
they tried it twice.
no, they tried it about 12 times. It was ridiculous.
But that's what I mean. They tried it twice. It didn't work so well.
Yeah. Well, when they went round the back, to like the touchline. Normally, when you do that, you try and turn the defender, so your defenders are normally facing their own goal, and that's when a lot of own goals seem to happen. But they just didn't do it where the City players would turn. They just like got to the line and just crossed it in, and then City were like, all right, and just headed it out. Like they weren't causing any like chaos in the box.
No.
There was like a couple times where like Paris has gone to shoot, it's bounced off her and then hit someone else. But like there was no organized chaos in the box, and that's what you
No.
need to create. And like you could tell that their game plan is meant to do that, but there was just something missing for them. But couple of glimpses in the game, they were really breaking through the lines of City with so much ease. And like if Paris had a shooting boots on, she would have had quite a few goals.
Do you know what though?
It's a shame.
I wanna big up Kiara again though, because she's kind of been again a player in particular that's been thrown in the deep end. Like we've got no Yama, she got injured in the cup final, and the past 3 games Kiara's had to come in and kind of really put herself back out there, and she's made some phenomenal saves. Whatever
Yeah.
people want to say about City ending up out of the Champions League, I think it could have been a way worse situation without Kiara. For some of the saves that she's made, it's just phenomenal. And I really don't think she's got enough credit
No, the problem
I
isn't
said this on
Kiara.
last week's podcast as well.
The problem is not Kiara and her ability. The problem is what's in front of her a lot of the time. Like when the mistakes, like the mistakes for Kiara happen, it's because of what's in front of her. It's like a bad pass that has led to like a really dangerous cross, or like an awful like decision making dribble that's then ended up being like a 30-yard shot or something like that. Like it's
Yeah.
never her problem. It's always what's in front of her that have made a mistake, and then it goes. Like she
It's like
rarely
I
makes
always-
mistakes. The only mistake she's really made in games was that United game where she made multiple mistakes on the ball.
Yeah.
Apart from that, she's never really made them.
It's like I've always said though, like goalkeepers are always the scapegoats when mistakes get made, but at the end of the day, it shouldn't even get to the goalkeeper in the first place.
Yeah.
Unless you're obviously passing it back with purpose. If your defense is that good and your outfield team are playing so effectively, that should never get to a goalkeeper in the
Yeah,
first
if you
place.
defend well enough, then the only thing the other team can do is take shots outside the box, isn't it? Like,
Yeah.
but as well, it's like we always say, and we always say to people that we kind of coach or advise who are players, like as a like a centre mid, you can have like 15 to 20 mistakes in a game that don't lead to goals. As soon as you make a mistake as a goalkeeper,
That's
it's
it,
literally
really.
50-50 whether it's a goal or not. Like you can make a bad pass that goes to a goal. You can like you can catch the ball and drop it and it be a goal. Like that's what happens.
Like Melia for the men yesterday, but it's a good job. This is not a men's football podcast.
No.
Whereas Arsenal, on the other
Yeah.
hand,
So yeah, Arsenal,
today.
Mother's Day. Who else is gonna pop up with goals on Mother's Day other than Beth Mead? She deserved it. She
She
deserved
did.
it. Two amazing goals. Like
And her celebration made me cry,
yeah,
didn't it?
that ball from Chloe Kelly in the volley for the first goal, and then you obviously get the really nice celebration that she dedicated to her mum who passed recently. Yeah, it
Yeah.
was an incredible game for Beth Mead. She was unreal. Second goal where she just chips the goalkeeper. I personally think she tried to cross it to Russo. I'm not gonna let you have that much credit. I apologise, but it's a great finish at the end of the day. She does look at the keeper, so I'm leaning towards that way. But we look really good.
And it
They
was
didn't
another
really go on. Sorry,
another Chloe Kelly assist.
another Chloe Kelly assist. It was a great ball.
Two in the Champions League
And
earlier in the week.
she was involved in like the own goal as well. She made a really good attempt in the box. But yeah, Russo popped up with another goal. I think she's really close now to top goal scorer. I think she's
I
one or
think
two
she's
behind
level.
Bunny.
She's level with
Is
Bunny
she
now.
Let's have a look quick. Let's have a look quickly. She's one behind. She's one behind Bunny now. Bunny's got 12. Russo's got 11.
Mental.
But yeah, Beth Mee got 2 goals. Russo got the 1.
Not giving you all that credit though. One of them was an own goal. Like not giving Arsenal the fact that it was 4-0 yet again. No,
yeah.
no. There was 3, and you got an own goal.
I just think the
So-
difference with us at the minute is you don't know where the goals are coming from. We've
No,
got
you
so many options. I think
You
that's
don't,
the
whereas
that's
for
the
us,
best
it's
thing.
not that case.
We're so diverse when it comes to chances to score. We can score anywhere from outside the box. We can score in the box. We can cross it in. We can play it straight through. We can score from set pieces. Like we
Yeah.
can do pretty much everything at the minute. And I think if we can just build on that and build up on our kind of players and kind of push the older ones out and bring some really good potential players through and some big names like Caldente, bring some more of them through. I think we could go back to how it used to be where we're dominating again. But you never know.
Well,
eh?
we'll see.
Only way to dominate is if you win the Champions League.
Should we talk about the rest of the WSL scores first, though, before we move on to that?
Yeah, we can do.
Because at the time of recording, well, United won 2-0 against Everton. Brighton were beaten by City 2-1. Arsenal beat Palace 4-0. Leicester and Tottenham drew 1-1. Villa beat Liverpool 2-1, so they are actually 4 points clear of the relegation zone now, which is...
It's a shame.
Yeah, and at the time of recording, it's the 71st minute in the Chelsea-West Ham game, and it is actually only 2-1.
Yeah, they were 2-0 up, Chelsea.
Yeah. Downfall of Chelsea.
Come on, West Ham, please.
But no, we're going to have to talk about it
Come
at some
on.
point.
Let's
Champions
do it.
League.
Thursday night.
City lost 3-0.
Luckily, it was only 3-0.
Yeah, it could have been a lot
Because,
worse.
wow, it could have been a lot more.
Oh, God, it was horrendous to watch. Like, it was absolutely awful to watch. And I don't often get to a point where I want to turn a game off. That was that game for me. It was more
Yeah.
upsetting than anything.
Yeah.
And I've mentioned it earlier on, but I did have a video that I put up on our TikTok, which has not aged very well. And I just ended up trending overnight and ended up with a load of Chelsea followers. So, I mean, thanks for the followers, Chelsea fans, but I have been very humbled.
So
it was a shame. I don't think we deserved to go out the way that we did. But it's what it is.
in terms of the game, then, what do you think was the problem with City?
Everything. No, I'm joking. Not everything. Defense, majorly. We didn't really have much of a chance.
I think the
to
occasion
score.
was just too big for City.
Yeah.
I think they just bottled it as soon as the game started.
Yeah, I think if we'd have beaten Chelsea last weekend in the WSL at the Etihad, it may have been different because we might have gone in with a better confidence. I also think the fact that we were away from home didn't help. But we were going to have to play the second leg away anyway. So I just think that the players are exhausted. The team are fed up of playing Chelsea. Like, and I get that people are going to think that I'm making excuses, and I am. But at the same time, like, yeah, but how? You look at their team. Erin Cuthbert mocks me in my sleep at this point, and I actually messaged her chef and said, please stop feeding Chelsea pasta. Like, please, Jodie, this is another plea. Please stop feeding the Chelsea squad pasta, okay? Because, no.
No, I just like, it's just, City were just so, they just bottled it. Like, they literally just turned up.
Yeah, we
It's
did.
like they turned up and just didn't want to play them. Like, they were just
Would
like, I
you?
really don't want to play these lot. Like, I just don't want to lose this game. And then when you go into a game like that, of course you're going to lose it. And my problem with City was like, there was just no plan. Like, they went in. What they should have done, and what I was saying the whole time, was what they should have done was play the way that they played against Barca. Like, be really tough and really rigid defending. And then as soon as you win it, just play direct, because you know that they're going to put Niamh Charles forward, and you know that they're going to put Bronze forward, or whoever was playing, it was Baltimore by the looks of it. They're going to put them forward. They're going to leave Bjorn and Millie Bright back there. So why are you not dropping back, receiving the ball, and playing into midfield, and then having your wingers be quick, because you've got Carolyn and Murphy who are rapid? Like, why are you not getting them to go into that space and play the ball through? And then you're gonna have to drag one of the centre backs out.
All we needed to do was score a goal. If we'd have managed to score one goal, that'd have changed everything. We'd have gone into extra time. It could have ended up on pens. Like, we'd have still been in it. But I think by that point, they were just done.
But
you had Baltimore, Bjorn, and Ramirez that scored, and I'm pretty sure Erin Cuthbert attempted to as well, and it was just like...
But, like, Fowler had a few chances, though, from what I remember.
Yeah.
Like, City had the chances. I think in the first 5-10 minutes, it was just like City were just trying to hold on into the game, trying to just keep it 0-0. Chiara was like catching the ball and going down as soon as the game started. And then after that, you started to get into it a little bit, and it was just one of them where it was like, if City don't score here, I don't think they're going to hold on. And then when you didn't score, and then Chelsea got a couple of corners, it was just like, it was so obvious that they were going to score. Bjorn had like 2 headers that she won in the box before the goal. And it was just like, why is none of your tall players, why is Gracie Pryor not marking Bjorn? Why is Uabi or whoever's taller not on her?
I do think as well, though, from a fan point of view, and I said this to you at the time, and I messaged a couple of our City friends as well, and just said, we have a bench of 5 players.
Yeah.
One of those players is a keeper. Like, we've not even got enough players to make that full 5 subs.
Yeah, but then you have to change the plan.
And we just didn't do anything with it.
But if
like, Nick did nothing with it. And yeah, okay, people are going to argue that he's still finding his feet and all that jazz, but at the same time...
But this is what he's brought in for. He's meant to be the tactical mastermind.
We've just not had the new manager bounce that we were hoping for, I don't think.
I think you did in the first 2 games, but like...
We lost the first
You lost the final, but you should have probably won it. And then you won the
Chelsea
second.
got lucky.
You won the second one, but it was like... In this one, it was so clear what the plan needed to be. You needed to play a low block. You needed to
Yeah.
just drop every single player behind the ball, just make it really difficult to
didn't.
win it, and just use your fast players. Use Mary. You've got a front three of Mary Fowler, Carolyn, and Lily Murphy. They are rapid.
Yeah.
Why
didn't
are
do
you
anything
not
with it.
playing counter-attacking football? 2-0 up at Stamford Bridge in a quarter-final second leg. Like, just throw your ego out the window and stop trying to play this beautiful football at times. You just have to.
I mean,
You have to play the game in front of you first. It was bad.
It didn't age well for me though, did it? Because this
bad.
time last week I sat here filming this podcast and went, "Ha, we'll be in the Champions League and you won't."
Yeah, we did the complete opposite.
Whereas you guys
We went
really
for it.
came back
Had to.
and you've now qualified. And 2 assists from Chloe Kelly, and I, not the biggest Chloe Kelly lover, but was she what we were missing?
We just stopped them at every point.
Yeah.
Like, we just did what Chelsea did to you. We just completely stopped anything they needed to do.
Yep.
And they
And
just
you had a
couldn't.
better pitch.
And yeah, a lovely pitch. They just couldn't. The best pitch. They just couldn't figure it out. They could not figure it out, City, and neither could Madrid. They just couldn't figure their way around it. But
No.
that is Champions League football, and that's why we're both through to the semi-final.
And I am just going to put it out there. Beating Barcelona is not for everyone.
Absolutely.
Again, I may end up eating my words, and I'm going to have Chelsea fans coming at me going, "Well, we can do it." Well, actually, if history repeats itself, you can't. So you want to hope that Sonia Bompasta has got something up her sleeve that Emma Hayes did not have in order to win.
Who do you think wins it?
In general,
Who do you
or
think
that
wins
game?
Champions League?
Honestly,
Who do you think wins it?
Barca.
You think Barca win it again?
Yeah,
I do as well.
I think Barca win it again.
Do you think we beat Leon? I think it depends what the first leg is. I've not seen the draw if there is one.
The draw has been done.
Are we at home first?
I get it.
Because if we're at home first, then I think we're going to lose. I think it will be... No, actually, I was going to say I think it will be similar to when we went out 2 seasons ago to Wolfsburg, but that was the opposite.
Arsenal first leg at home.
I think we win the first
19th of
leg.
April. Second leg at Lyon.
Yeah, I think we win the first leg and then get absolutely dominated in the second.
Barca are at home first. Chelsea are at home second. So that could go either way. I do still believe that Barca will win, though.
I think it depends how big that Barca win is.
But I think it could end up being a Barca-Lyon final.
I agree. The only thing that...
I don't think Arsenal get past semis.
The annoying thing about Lyon and Barca is that they always do well in the Champions League because, and sorry if this offends anybody, right, if you're a Barca or Lyon fan or a Spanish league or French league fan.
Oh, God.
But because their leagues aren't as competitive, they can rest players. Like, they can constantly rotate players. Like, when they know that they've got Champions League games coming up, they can just rest, like, their whole team because they know that they're probably going to win that game anyway. Whereas, like, Arsenal and Chelsea have to, like, compete against really tough teams week in, week out. Yeah. So, like, yeah, you're going to have loads of injuries. It's going to happen, where it doesn't happen as regular for them teams because they're not having to play as intense every single week.
I'm just saying, Lyon have obviously got the likes of Lindsay Heaps, who was Lindsay Horan.
She's one of my favourite players as well.
Yeah.
Diani,
Ellie Carpenter. You've got Wendy Renard.
Renard.
Yeah, Hegerberg, I've just said. DVD. Netherlands DVD. Well, they're both DVD, aren't they? Good question, possibly. But I think you guys are going in already on the back foot. But you've got Chloe Kelly, you've got Alessia Russo, you've got Beth Mead. Who's to say that you don't turn it around? But I see it being a Lyon Barca final.
I think it's going to be. I think that game.
I don't see Chelsea or you guys going beyond this.
I can see Chelsea doing it. I think the revenge from last season and stuff. But I think the game between Arsenal and Lyon is going to be really tactical. I think it will be really cagey.
I'm just saying as well, Chelsea do have Lucy Bronze, who seems to have been the key for lots of clubs winning the Champions League.
But she's also the one that you need to target. When you play against her, you have to target the space behind her.
Again, it goes back to, like we've said on a previous podcast, about when Alexia Putellas said that Lucy is the only right back she's ever known she's had to prepare for in a game.
Yep.
It's not often that you have a defender that's the main point of a team. But
you know what?
It
I should be way more positive about Arsenal being in the semi-final of Champions League, but I just don't see us going through. I
don't think we'd have got further if we'd have qualified. I don't think we'd have got any further either. So.
And Leon could be. They might not be as strong as they used to be. I'll be honest. I don't follow them. But it's just Leon, man. They're scary.
We'll see how it goes, and hopefully in a couple of weeks, 3 weeks time, when those games get played, it will be Charlie being made to eat humble pie instead of me.
Stay humble, though.
Yeah, well, actually, on a side note, they did actually score just as I was coming upstairs to film the podcast, so it was 1-1 when I left the Bournemouth City game downstairs. Right. Brighton may not have won their game today. However, I believe they may be winning at the injury game in the women's game.
Okay.
Because it was released this week that they are looking into injury-reducing pitches for the female teams to play on. So I don't know how that will work. I don't know the logistics of it.
Yeah, I'd like to know that.
But
softer pitches,
they are looking into pitches that are supposed to reduce the risk of female players getting injured.
It must be something to do with the softness and almost a bounce, so it's not as bad on your knees, maybe.
Maybe.
It has to be. I can't think of anything else.
If it's something that they're doing, then other clubs are also going to have to do it.
Brighton are really good. So I don't know if it's same for the women. So if anyone knows, please correct me. But their men's team, especially, I think it's like the CEO or sporting director or chairman or someone in that really high position. They basically own a stats company.
Okay.
So the reason that they buy these players for 1 million from Colombia, for example, is because they have the biggest stat network in the world or something like that. So they can literally predict how good players are going to be. So if they're using that kind of stats for pitches and stuff, it makes sense that they're going to be the ones that lead it, because if they're in hold of all of these stats, they can look at stuff that we have no idea about. So what kind of turf gets more injuries. I bet they look into stuff like that. So if it is the same, then that's amazing, and I really hope they continue to push things forward.
I hope that Brighton possibly share some of this with Man City, because if our injuries are anything to go against,
as soon as Brighton do it and it works, everyone else will be on it.
Well, we're opening the ground has been turned for the City women's training only facility, so hopefully we could possibly end up with pitches like Brighton as well.
It will be if it works, it will be very, very quick when everyone else will get on. Of course it will. The ones that have got the funding will be straight on it. Your top 4 teams will be on it straight away.
Wow. Who knows? Top 4 teams, how many of their players are in the Lionesses squad?
Terrible segue, but let's go.
We'll go with it. We're working with it yet. Hey, it wasn't that bad. It could be worse. So, keepers. Earps, Hampton, Morehouse. Who is backing those 4 people?
Kiara Keaton's back.
Keats is back. It's good to see Kiara back in there. She probably won't play, but the fact that she's been called back up, I think, will definitely help her confidence.
Just being around the 3 or 4 training, isn't it?
Yeah. I think it'll make a massive difference.
Just learn stuff.
Defenders, you've got the usual: Bright, Bronze, Charles, Letitia, Esme Morgan. I'm getting to her.
You missed
Esme Morgan, Lucy Parker, Turner, Williamson, and from the big NWSL, not for Angel City, but from the big NWSL, you've got Jess Carter as well. She's back in there. Then you've got Clinton, Kirby, Park, Toome, Walsh, and Maisie Simmons is being called up.
Yeah, interesting one.
Yeah, do you want to talk about that, or do you want to finish
her and Parker? It's an interesting one because their clubs aren't doing great. But I think it's more of what they do. Well, Simmons especially, what she does for the under-23s. I think it's just giving her the opportunity. I don't think she'll play, but it's good to have her around.
And then you've obviously got Aggie Jones, Lauren James, Chloe Kelly, Beth Mead, Nikita Paris again, and Alessia Russo.
Yeah.
But I was reading, and quite a few people were like, well, it'll be interesting to see who ends up there for the Euros, because I think this is the second from... Well, this might be the last international before the Euros. But people were like, well, what happens if Alex Greenwood's ready? What happens if Lauren Hemp's ready? all the other players that seem to be injured at the minute, they play for my club, so they're the two off the top of my head that I thought of. But who would you drop to get them back in there again?
Parker, Simmons, Paris.
Is there anybody else though that you'd argue deserved that space more?
What, that's not in there at the minute?
That's not in there at the minute.
See,
That aren't injured.
my kind of worry with the whole Lionesses thing is that we just don't know what our best starting 11 is.
No.
And when you don't know what your best starting 11
I
is,
think Serena knows.
that's the problem though. That's what I mean.
Serena doesn't know who's best to play.
But that's what I mean. That's worrying. When you're going into a tournament, you have to know what your best starting 11 is. And it's like,
we don't.
and when you then see these squad lineups, you're looking at it and you're thinking, well, then who's going to play where? And that's just really bad because you need consistency going into tournaments. Yeah, it's easier to like get beat because then people know exactly what you're going to play. But it's like, if we don't know how we're going to play, then how can we win games? It's just like, it's really difficult. So in terms of like who to pick, I don't know because I don't know how we should set up. In my opinion, I think we should go 5 at the back, but then I don't know then. We're just going to lose all the battles in midfield. So I really don't know. It's difficult. We've got so many injuries. We've got so many, like...
I'm just trying to find our group.
We've got so many players that are in the same position as well. That's really difficult. I would love to see Lauren James go in more of like a 10 role. And like she would have to replace Toon, which is a shame. But I personally think she's better. I think she's technically better. I think she can win you a game. And I know Toon can do the same. But I just think... Sometimes Toon needs other players around her. Whereas like Lauren James can just pick the ball up, glide past everybody and shoot from outside the box and it'll go in.
I'm just putting out there I was wrong. We have got Spain. We've got Portugal on the 30th of May. We've played Spain. We've got Belgium next week at home. And then our last home game before the Euros is Portugal.
But don't you think as well, our group in the Euros, like we really need to know how we're going to play?
Yeah, we do.
Because
we've got France, we've got
Netherlands and
the
Wales,
Netherlands
isn't it?
and Wales, I believe. That's what I was trying to find.
Yeah, that's a really tough group.
Yeah, France, Netherlands, and Wales.
That's a really tough group.
We'll beat Wales. I don't doubt for a second that we'll beat Wales. But when you've got the Netherlands and France,
you can't just say we'll beat Wales though, because they are going to be so up for that game. So up for that. Like in a tournament, I think England are the best.
And you've got
team.
Hayley Ladd, you've got Fionn Morgan, Ella Powell, I believe. Let's get their most recent up while you get your
I'm just worried. I just worry. Like England are very good. We are set up for tournament football. I say this all the time. However, I'm just scared.
I mean, for their most recent camp, Ella
I
Powell,
don't know any of them.
Saf Middleton Patel, she's keeper for United. Josie Green, Gemma Evans, Hayley Ladd, Ella Powell, Lois Joel, Fionn Morgan,
that's the only one I
Carrie
really know.
Jones, Kerry Holland, Elise Hughes, Hannah Kane. So, I mean, they're not a ridiculously...
Names don't matter in a rivalry, I'm sorry to say.
They don't.
They're going to be up for it.
They're going to be up for it.
Isn't it their first appearance as well?
It's their first.
They are going to be so up for it, and a lot of people are not going to know how they're going to play.
No, because a lot of people won't have a clue who they are.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, you never know.
But Serena, if you could do us a favour, this is a personal plea.
Play 5 at the back.
I don't really think you're going to watch our podcast, but if you do, please put 5 at the back.
Play 5 at the back, 3 in attack.
Please use these next 2 games in the Nations League to experiment, because I hate to break it to you, but by the time we have the next tournament, never mind the Euros, you're going to be missing half your players because they're going to be retired because they're going to be old. So
I think she'll leave soon, though. Serena.
I'm sure Serena Wiegmann's contract is up after the Euros. If we don't even make it into the kind of semi-finals for the Euros, she's gone.
Problem with us is that we're kind of... I feel like England are in a bit of a decline because of the amount of injuries we've got, the kind of having to change people around, big players retiring. So I think we're in a bit of a decline. When you look at like France and Spain, they're all on the incline, like, and Netherlands, like they just look...
You know how many young players Spain have got?
Exactly, they just look better every single time they play. And even like Portugal are coming through, like Wales are doing really well. Like It's going to be really tough. I hope that we're still good in terms of tournament football and we're quite hard to beat. But
I mean, out of the team that are going this time, right? Mary Earps is 30.
keeper
30s.
though, it's
I know
keeper
keepers are
tax.
different. Then in terms of defenders, Bright Bronze Carter. I'm pretty sure Jess Carter's similar age to us.
Yeah, I was gonna
Bright
say.
Bronze Carter. Lucy Parker isn't young. I don't know how Millie Turner is. So you're gonna that's 4 defenders straight off.
Kirby.
Not a defender.
I know,
But
but
defender.
let's just
Kirby. I don't know how. Is Kira Walsh similar age to
I
us?
think so, yeah.
Nikita
Nikita
and
Paris.
then Nikita Paris. And Chloe Kelly's not that young.
Chloe Kelly and Mead are similar age to us as well.
But even if Alex Greenwood came back, she's still in the 30s club.
Yeah.
So you're going to have to... There's a lot of players that are going to have to be drafted in.
Oh my God, West Ham have equalised. It's 2-2.
Stop it. Yo.
Oh my God, there's 2 minutes left.
There's 2 minutes left. There's going to end up being extra time. Wow.
I really hope that it was 2-2 and we're not just going to get going in the last minute when this goes out.
No, it's got to stay 2-2. I've got it up on the iPad now. While with the suspense of United, we've got with the Chelsea, sorry, we've got 2 United points to talk about, so we may as well do those. Gacy, after the drama there, she did very similar to what Chloe Kelly did for City, and she basically brought out a statement and said that they'd changed they were going to put her out on loan while she was at her brother's funeral and all this jazz, and apparently she hadn't actually agreed to it. This statement didn't put United out in a positive way at all. The same way Chloe Kelly didn't.
Like they need any more bad press.
Yeah, United aren't. They haven't had very positive, have they, recently?
They're so self-destructive though.
But she has actually now secured a move to Gotham until November. Gotham, for anybody who doesn't know, NWSL. And there is an option to buy at the end of her contract.
Good. I'm glad for her.
So she's had the same kind of the Chloe Kelly effect, as we'll call it. Not got what she wanted. Being treated badly by the club. So thought the only way I'm going to win here is if I put out a statement, which has then obviously kind of put United in a position where they've had to say, well, actually, no, we are just going to let you go because we don't need that bad publicity. And the next one, I don't know if you've seen this, right, for United, because if we're talking about bad press for United, they are being like just the mick taken out of them purely on social media for this, right?
Again.
As a promotion for their game against City at Old Trafford, what they have done is they have put a number of red seats around Manchester with QR codes on them, right? As part of their Take a Seat campaign.
Okay.
So you'd think from that, I go sit on a red seat, I win a ticket or whatever. No, they've just put these red seats around with QR codes on to encourage people to buy tickets for Old Trafford because they've not sold enough tickets. So there's like massive. When we come off the pod. What?
For men? The men's game or women's game?
The women's game against City.
Oh.
So if people don't already not take women's football seriously, sticking a load of red chairs around the place.
It is a lot of seats to sell though at Old Trafford. It's a big stadium.
I mean, we didn't sell all the Etihad, but we've not gone round and put chairs everywhere and gone, scan the QR code and buy a ticket.
You lot don't pride yourself
Like,
on the big fan
numbers.
base, whereas they do. And also, it is like 80,000 seats, Old Trafford. Like, it's no joke. That's a big stadium to fill.
Well, you'll know they won't be playing there when the new stadium comes out, don't you? Because they won't be able to fill it.
Yeah, well, I wonder if...
But it's just such an odd campaign. When
is it fully open, or is it going to be... Is it going to have a lot
I don't know. I just saw this campaign and had to put it on the itinerary for the
podcast
quite weird,
because
I thought it was hilarious. And there's a video of Maya Letitia just stood on one of the chairs going, scan the barcode, get your tickets. And you're like, what is this? An advert for a pizza? Like a new car advert? I just didn't take it
Well,
seriously at all.
normally what happens is, and this is no like disrespect to women's football, but normally what happens is you'll kind of go to schools and you'll give out free tickets and stuff like that. If this is one that you're really trying to push and one that you want really high attendances is, you'll give out free tickets to like charities and schools and stuff like that. But I'm thinking, and this is quite a funny thing I've just
I'm
thought
gonna have to
of.
find it now
If
while you're talking about
if
it.
you're if you go to a Manchester school to try and give out tickets, what
Side of Manchester.
yeah, what happens if you go to a school and you're like, right, we got tickets, and you end up giving it to like 40 City fans? You just end up with more City fans all on free tickets. It's shocking.
I'm just finding a picture of it.
So is it just seats dotted around
Manchester with a QR code on them. Look.
Oh god, it's awful. What's the point?
For those of you that are listening visually, it's just the giant inflatable chair, but that is one that is dotted around, and then they've just got loads of random chairs dotted around Manchester with the QR code on it. Sorry. Yeah. Just loads of random chairs dotted around. Why? There is no need. There is no need. Last point. Permitting that Chelsea... Oh my God, Chelsea have drawn to West Ham. Chelsea have drawn to West Ham.
Big up West Ham.
Wow. Katrina Gorey, whatever you have done with that squad, my love, well done. Although she went off in the 35th minute, so I have a feeling she's injured again. Wowzer.
So we're 5 points behind Chelsea now. And they've got a game in hand though, but
5 points behind Chelsea now.
oh no, sorry, no we're not. We're 6 points behind Chelsea. Level games.
And we're 7 points behind you.
We're 2 wins. Come on, please.
Please don't, because I will never hear the end of it. On about never hearing the end of something, do you want to know who have been promoted to the Women's National League?
I would like to know. One of the teams, anyway.
One of the teams. Wythenshawe Ladies. Wythenshawe Ladies,
class.
who are in the same league as our beloved Unity,
Yeah, of course.
have won their league and they have been promoted to the National League.
Class.
Yep. Let me just double check.
Hoping Bradford are getting there next season as well. They're very close.
Bradford are close out there. Do you know what's funny though? Oh wait, no, that's
it won't be
never
on
mind,
there.
it's not on there.
It won't be on.
But yeah, no, Wythenshawe have been promoted.
That's
with,
class.
I think, 3 games left.
It's class. Good for them.
It's just upsetting because Unity are in the same league and Unity haven't.
They've got a good setup though, Wythenshawe.
No, they do. They really do.
And they've got a really good coach.
They do. Yeah. Maybe you need to get yourself over there.
Yeah, one day, imagine.
We need to get Charlie somewhere so that he can be winning leagues too. Actually no, it's not my last point. For anybody who enjoyed the NWSL segment last week, which I don't think Charlie did because he had no idea. But scores from this weekend: Houston Dash drew to Gotham 0-0.
Draws all the time.
Washington Spirit, Esme Morgan, beat Bay FC 2-0, which is where Jen Beatty used to be. Orlando Pride beat Jonas 2-1. Yeah. I mean, they've got Marta that plays for them. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, she scored. She missed a pen and then scored a pen, class. Doesn't the NWSL, feel like the most positive place at the minute?
Oh, yeah, massively.
Like, it's crazy, isn't
I'd rather watch the NWSL.
Mate, there's so much positivity around the league. It's
there
mad.
really is. And, like, the
Some
women don't get belittled over there. For being football fans.
Kansas City
Kansas City Current beat Utah Royals
3-0.
Portland Thorns drew again with North Carolina Courage. Chicago play Racing Louisville at 9:00 British time tonight.
Time. Wow.
Oh, yeah, but the next one, not feeling it.
You're going to say 2
I'm not feeling it. Angel City, if you would like to sort your timings out, because they play Seattle Reign at 1 a.m. England time.
Can we have a look at the league, please?
On Monday. You'd like to have a look at the league? We can
Kansas City, where are we?
Where
are Kansas? Second! Come on, girls.
Second. I mean, you've got...
That's my team, mate.
1, 2, 3, 4... So 8 to 11th are all on 2 points.
It's draws, mate, that's why.
And then 12th and 13th place are on a point each. And then Chicago are down at the bottom.
Mate, 8 goals, 1 let in for Kansas.
Angel City have drawn both their games. They are due to play tonight. We'll see how I feel about that, whether I actually managed to wake up or not. There was something that fell over in our house last week, which meant I actually woke up in the morning and checked the scores. But no, it'll be interesting to see where it goes. And just a big shout out to Fowdies. This is not sponsored. We don't work with Fowdies in any way, shape, or form. But if you want an NWSL shirt, get yourself over to Fowdies because they have started selling them. And that's why I now have one.
It's really nice.
And we're going to have, I think, you all need to help me persuade Charlie to do this. And I think now we've just hit 3K over on TikTok. I might get my own way a bit more. I think I should get a new shirt each week for the podcast so that each week I have a different shirt to wear other than just say.
And who's paying for that? Get us to 1,000 subscribers.
Yeah, get us to 1,000 subscribers, that will help. Because I cannot afford to be buying all these football shirts. We have got a couple of football shirts up our sleeves that were being gifted. So I'm not going to spoil that yet. But yeah, I want a new shirt for every podcast. It would be great.
Me too. Yeah, that would be wicked. That
You don't wear them in the first place. You just read football her on.
I haven't got a new one.
I'm not wearing a Leeds shirt on the podcast though.
I want a Kansas City current one.
We'll have a look at Fowdies.
We could be rivals.
But on that note, if you don't already subscribe to us on here, go over and like. Is it a like on Spotify?
You can follow
it
follow
on
the
Spotify.
podcast. Drop us a 5-star review over there and drop a comment in there.
And we are slowly starting to reply to comments on here as well. So if you're watching or listening on YouTube, feel free to leave us a comment. Let us know how you felt about the video. Subscribe if you don't already. Let us know any suggestions that you might have. And head over and follow our TikTok and Instagram as well. Because as of this afternoon, we have now hit 3K over on TikTok. So you could add to those numbers as well.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Fab.
What was this, episode 12?
Episode 12. Same time next week.
Wow, absolutely.
Started.